I came home expecting nothing more dramatic than figuring out what to cook for dinner. Just a regular day. Work. Traffic, keys in my hand, the usual sigh. When the door shut out the noise of the city, I set my bag down, waiting to hear her voice float from somewhere in the house. But instead, the silence hit me. First. A silence that didn't feel peaceful, more like a warning. She was in the living room standing stiff as stone. Her arms were folded so tightly, her fingers were almost trembling. And the eyes that met mine weren't the same eyes I'd loved waking up to for over a decade. They were unfamiliar, distant, vacant. She didn't ease into it. No greeting, no smile, no warm, "Hey, how was work?" She drew one sharp breath and delivered the sentence that split my life into two eras. "I'm moving out. I've already got a place. We're done." For a moment, I genuinely forgot how to breathe. It was as if the world punched straight through my chest. My mind erupted with questions and panic. What happened? Did I fail her? Is there someone else? Can we fix this? Every instinct demanded I fight, cling, beg, anything to save what we had. I could feel the roles lining themselves up. The devastated husband, the furious husband, the pleading husband. She seemed ready for all of it. Her stance, her expression, they weren't just firm, they were braced. She was prepared to defend herself. But in the midst of that chaos, in my head, a single ice-clear thought surfaced. What if I didn't follow the script? What if I didn't yell? Didn't fall apart? Didn't give her the reaction she'd been preparing for? What if I simply let her go? The silence thickened between us. I saw a flicker of doubt cross her face. She expected a storm. Instead, I was still steady, something she had no shield for. I inhaled slowly, forcing myself to calm the frantic pulse inside me. I looked at the woman standing there, already gone in her heart, and made my choice. I nodded once and said softly, "All right." The way she blinked at me, it was as if I'd spoken another language. "That's it," she whispered. "That's all you have to say." My gaze drifted around the room. The pictures, the furniture, the echoes of a life we'd shared. Suddenly, it all felt like a display of memories instead of a home. "I'm not going to fight you, Sarah," I said, my voice steady. "If this is what you've truly decided, then I'll respect it. I love you. And because I love you, I won't trap you somewhere you don't want to be." Her arms lowered, her shoulders sagged. She clearly hadn't planned for this version of me. She had come armored for battle, and I showed up unarmed. I have movers coming tomorrow," she said. "Okay," I replied. "Do you want help packing anything?" That question cracked her composure. Her mouth shook before she forced out a quiet no. I nodded again. "I'm going to order dinner. Want something?" She couldn't even look at me, just shook her head. So, I turned away and did the most normal, ridiculous thing. I ordered a pizza. My heart was a frantic drum in my chest. Yet, my hand didn't even tremble. It was surreal. Choosing toppings while my marriage collapsed around me. I heard her slip upstairs. The spare room, not our room. The rest of the night passed like ghosts sharing a house. The next morning, the movers arrived. I made coffee for them. I helped shift boxes. I held doors. I acted like some helpful neighbor instead of the man whose life was being carried out piece by piece. And the whole time I watched her. The longer she stayed in the house, the more lost she looked. She searched my face. Again and again, waiting for anger or heartbreak to show. But I stayed calm. Even kind. When everything was finally loaded into the van, she stood in the entryway, holding out her copy of the keys. One last symbol of what we used to be. I guess this is goodbye, she murmured. I took the keys without letting our fingers touch. Take care, Sarah. She opened her mouth as if she wanted to say more, then just nodded and stepped out. The door clicked closed behind her, and then there was only silence. I stayed in the hallway until the stillness settled over me. Only when I sat down on the bottom stair did I let the truth wash through me. The grief, the hollow ache, the fear of the unknown. But under all of that, there was something else. Something small, glowing, unexpected. I had chosen my reaction. In a moment where I had no power to keep her, I took back the one thing no one could take from me, my self-control. I refused to collapse for her to justify leaving. I refused to become the villain she needed to ease her guilt. I gave her dignity. And in doing so, I gave myself power. There was no fairy tale ending afterward, no sudden realization, no running back. Through the rain, the divorce papers showed up. I signed and then I began rebuilding. Not out of revenge, not from bitterness, but because I finally remembered who I was without her. Months later, a mutual friend mentioned that Sarah wasn't doing well. She had expected a dramatic ending, something explosive to validate her choice. Instead, she walked away carrying her decision alone. My quiet acceptance left her sitting with the consequences with no anger from me to hide behind. And that silence, the same silence that nearly broke me, was what haunted her. But here's what surprised me most. The strongest response to heartbreak isn't rage. It isn't bargaining. It isn't clinging. It's calm, unwavering acceptance. It's looking at the wreckage of your life, nodding once, and saying, "All right." Because that's when you realize your world isn't collapsing. It's shifting and you're still standing. And you can build something